On the seventh day, there was John Lennox. That is, he was a glimmer in Father Adam's eye. Dr. Lennox was actually born in 1943 AD. John Lennox holds to the Big Bang. Big Bang. I would highly recommend The Big Bang Never Happened, Eric Lerner. Speaking of Bing Crosby, in the 1951 classic Here Comes the Groom, Bing and Jane Wyman, Reagan's first wife, sang the following. Sure, said the dinosaur. They were headed to a big picnic of the non-cannibal variety. The Dino-Media may pretend that T-Rex and human coexistence is a pile of blarney. However, a study from a couple years back found that nearly half of Americans think that some types of dinosaur may still be found in some remote area. They may think that. Now, have you personally been to Outer Mongolia? Outer Mongolia. Okay, somewhere in there. So, have you? This survey of 2,000 adults found that 4 in 10 estimated that dinos lived with humans around 2,000 to 10,000 years ago. Well, Dr. Lennox, I'd rather go with dino power. Dino power. Boy, I'm terrified. So I'd rather go with that. Consider this straight dope from Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. Dinosaurs lived a long time ago. They were terrible lizards, don't you know? Some ate plants and some ate meat. Some ate fish and some ate beasts. One was called Diplodocus. One was bigger than your school bus. One was called Triceratops. 3 horns to stop anything that hops. That's Johnny Cash, who left us in 2003. Not Moya, millions of years ago. He points out that some mega-reptiles ate plants, and that answers the problem of pre-fall dinos and their diet. Reference Genesis chapter 1, 29 through 31. At a formal college dinner during his early days at Cambridge, Lennox was sitting next to a scientist who was a Nobel laureate. He asked the Nobel winner, "Did it ever occur to you that a creative mind was behind the universe?" After the meal, Lennox met with the prof, and the 2 or 3 other academics were there as well. Lennox was directed to sit down, and the others stood. The following conversation ensued. "Do you want a career in science?" the professor asked. Lennox said, "Yes, I do. I want to become a mathematician." The professor said, "If you want to make it, give up your faith in God in front of these witnesses right now. Because if you don't, you will never make it." Lennox said, "What do you have to offer me that's better than what I've already got?" Lennox commented on this affair. That was real pressure. So, Lennox had a confrontation, and he did the right thing. So, has it occurred to John Lennox that fake academia roars at the following? Recent creation. Young Earth science, yes. Global flood. Young Earth theory intelligence, or YETI. And creation in 6 days, or CISD. And there's the Earth right behind me. Global flood. There we go. Global flood. There we go. So, did it ever occur to him? Once you take the global flood, it's very reasonable to go to the next step, and then you're at the young Earth position. Lennox claims that there is a gap between the first 2 verses of Genesis of Fall. Or, as my friends in Rancho Cucamonga like to say, no way. In the beginning, Elohim created Hashomayim, the heavens, Himmel, and Haaretz, the earth. And the earth was tohu vavohu, without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And Ruach Elohim was hovering over the face of the waters. Genesis 1 and 2, the Orthodox Jewish Bible. We also read in Exodus 20, for in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them. But he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath and made it holy. Exodus 20:11, which is paralleled in Exodus 31:15 through 17. There is no gap between Genesis 1:1 and the second verse. Keith and Kristen Getty, whose uncle is John Lennox, gave us this song. In Christ alone, who took on flesh, fullness of God in helpless babe, this gift of love and righteousness, scorned by the ones he came to save. Wonderful song. So there's our 6 degrees of separation. Wonderful song. So if you hold to the young earth view and you go bold and fresh, you are going to be scorned by macadamia and maybe your friends and other people. So it's the right thing to do, but there may be a price to pay. So what about the 6 degrees of separation? You have Kristen Getty and her hubby were interviewed by Kyle Mann of the Babylon Bee. Kyle Mann. I wonder what he's doing this summer. I wonder. So, Deo Valente in October, he'll be in Phoenix at a creation conference. Now hold it. It's a mega creation conference. So if you're in Phoenix in October, be sure to check that out. So now we went from Lennox to Getty to Mann. And of course, that's sponsored by RCR. I have met with the original president. And John Morris and me were friends. And he gained his reward earlier this year. So there's our 6 degrees of separation. Jesus favored a youthful world. Wouldn't that end the argument? Mark 10:6. But at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female, quoting Genesis. Mark 13:19. Because those days will be of distress unequaled from the beginning, when God created the world until now, and never to be equaled again. Luke 11:50 and 51. Therefore, this generation will be held responsible for the blood of all the prophets that have been shed since the beginning of the world, from the blood of Abel to the blood of Zechariah. There you go, A to Z. So, 3 places where Jesus clearly supported the young earth view. So, that should end the argument. Learn more about Dr. Lennox at johnlennox.org. johnlennox.org. John Carson Lennox has debated Michael Shermer, Lawrence Krauss, Christopher Hitchens, who shuffled off the mortal coil in 2011, and Richard Dawkins, FRS. So please like and subscribe, and be sure to check the links in the description, and please help us get off the ground on Patreon. And there we go, patreon.com/True Truth Productions, all stretched together. Patreon.com/True Truth Productions. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you and have a great day. But first, a word from my good friend Galileo. A word from my good friend Galileo. So, again, Kepler actually held to the Copernican view, and so he was a faithful Bible believer. God bless you and have a great day.